What is up everyone? Today we'll be taking a look at an Open Great League team with Shadow Granbull. Now, normally I am not really a fan of these high, fast move damage Pokemon like Charmers, because they're just not that flexible, or not as flexible as Pokemon with higher energy generation. But I was getting so tired of just a ton of teams that were super weak to Charm. I saw so many teams that had a lead weak to Charm and then something in the back weak to Charm. It just made no sense. So we are leading Granbull to counter those teams. Shout out to my friend Wholesome for the team I'll be running today. Shadow Granbull, Medicham and Swampert. Honestly, the team wasn't really built to make too much sense, besides it being a Charmer with 2 Steel Answers. Because there are some very obvious weaknesses still, like a Trevenant in the back, or Trevenant anywhere honestly isn't very nice. Shadow Victreebel isn't very nice, Venusaur isn't very nice. There really isn't a good safe switch in this team, because both Medicham and Swampert can get super hard countered by some meta Pokemon. But the team just works. It really just works. Wholesome went very positive with this line, and I've run it for a couple sets as well, and it very well too. I think it's mainly because Shadow Granbull just wins so many leads, and then if you can get your Medicham and Swampert aligned properly, you're good. You're very good. Wholesome, by the way, also streams on Twitch, so I'll put his link down in the description. Definitely go check him out. One of my favorite streamers to watch. Anyway, let's just get into the battle, starting with a beautiful lead in Altaria. This is what you want to see, and they are staying in. They must be weak to Charm in the back. Maybe once, maybe twice. A very common team I've seen with Altaria is Toxicroak and Registeel in the back, in which case I'm looking pretty good. In comes the Toxicroak here, actually a switch after they've done 6 counters, because that is when they get to the Mud Bomb. They didn't throw though, so I'm gonna have to eat a Sludge here, which is fine with me. It could, like, the most common Altaria lead team I've seen is with Registeel plus Toxicroak, but I've also seen Medicham with Toxicroak. I am guessing it might be Registeel though, since that's the more common one. So I actually shield up here so I can get my Swampert aligned properly on the Registeel. And, well, the Altaria, if the Altaria comes in here, I can just farm it down. And then I have, like, energy loaded for the Registeel too. And I still have Swampert aligned, but it actually ends up being Medicham, which is not ideal, but should be fine. I get their shield here with a Power Punch, but they actually called a bait. That's pretty awkward. I'm gonna go for the Psychic here, hopefully take the shield here, so I can, like, Earthquake with Swampert maybe, or Charm it down. Actually, I switch into my Granbull here, since I should be able to get 1 Charm in before they hit their charge move, but my Charm doesn't register, which makes this extremely awkward. This actually makes this extremely awkward. That Charm should have registered. I don't know why it didn't. It should have registered, but it didn't. So it's actually gonna get to the Psychic, but luckily it does not count, and we still win that match barely. Alright, this is a terrible lead, of course. Shadow Victreebel lead. Yeah, my Granbull just gets Razor Leaf down here. I have Swampert in the back. Not ideal. But you know what is ideal? Most, or basically all, I would dare to say all Victreebel leads have Bastiodon in the back. And this backline absolutely obliterates Bastiodon. It has no place to go. So they were forced to let their Victreebel get farmed down by Medicham, since they cannot risk getting their Bastiodon aligned to the Medicham later. They bring in the Deoxys first by Medicham. Now I go for the Power Punch. They no shielded. That's absolutely fine. That's exactly what I wanted to. I just want to start ramping up this damage. Even no shield the Psychic here. They're really expecting to be able to sweep with Bastiodon, but they don't know what I have in the back. I actually will be able to survive this Psycho Boost, so I let it go. Gonna go for another Psychic here. They actually allowed me to get there. Honestly, I think they already had a Psycho Boost. They really could have just thrown it, but this is fine with me. They put up the shield here. I switch into Swampert, save my Medicham with a little bit of health for potential catch later. They have to clear their debuff there, so they're actually forced to switch to Bastiodon, otherwise the Psycho Boost will do nothing against my Swampert. Gonna go straight Earthquake. I don't expect a shield there. They really just gotta put it all on Deoxys now, and, well, 1 Psycho Boost will hurt, but since I have a shield, I can just shield with the first one. If that was a Thunderbolt, that would have been fine, since then I would not have reached 2 more Psycho Boosts afterwards. So yeah, we're good here. Since they debuffed himself with his first Psycho Boost, the next ones won't do any damage. So even if he reaches another one now, I will still survive, and I can easily go for another Hydro Cannon here to take out the Deoxys. And that is how you beat a Shadow Victreebel lead, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, Azumarill lead. It's an interesting one. I win this if I use 2 shields. And I think that's what we're going for here. I think that's what I'm going for. Well, if it's Ice Beam Azu, if the Ice Beam here, I might try to catch a second one, actually. Gonna go for the Crunch, most likely. Or do I switch? Oh, yeah, I do try to catch. Oh, I catch the Ice Beam. What a good play. Yeah. Catch the Ice Beam on my Medicham on the 10th bubble. In comes a Trevenant now, which is, well, quite bad. I go for the Psychic here, hoping for a no shield. And I think they're gonna end up shooting, right? Yeah, that's quite rough, since now they can fully farm me down. Then my Granbull was in trouble. Oh man, they actually didn't fully farm me down. That's a mistake by my opponent right there, but one I will definitely take. I go for the Crunch there instantly. They have to shield if they want to live, but I'm really hoping they let this go. Please let this go. They do shield it up. That's not great. I have to shield this up because my Swampert... Actually, no, I don't shield this up, since they have quite a lot of energy. They would have been able to get to a Seed Bomb before I charmed them down. So my only play here was to just go in Swampert. Because if they get to the Seed Bomb before they charm me down, they just outpace my Swampert anyway. So this was the only play. They bring in the Kanto Ninetales here. I think I might have a shot if I can like build up a ton of energy and get to the Earthquake versus the Trevenant. Trevenant is quite a squishy Pokemon, so Earthquake might be enough to take it out. Let's see. What do they bring in now? What do you bring in? They bring in Azu. I'm just gonna farm up to 100. Go for the Hydro, and now, please let me get to the Earthquake and take out the Trev. Try for an undercharge right there. Not gonna be working out. Gonna go for the Earthquake. Does this knock out the tree? It barely doesn't. Can I farm down? Oh, I cannot. I really needed to do like 3 more HP, and we would have won the game, but it just wasn't possible. GG. All right. Oh my god. Golbat lead is terrible. Beats both Granbull, like beats Granbull really hard, and beats Medicham. But I switch in my only answer in Swampert. Actually, also beats Swampert. So it's still good. But yeah, I switched in basically my best answer in Swampert here, because what I'm hoping to do is burn shields, then get Farmable Medicham so I can Psychic the Golbat later. That is my win condition at this point. Actually, they already let a Hydro go through as well, so I might even be able to Charm it down now, which would be fine too. The Greedent here, not ideal for Swampert, since they'll be able to get so much energy on me. So I'm not loving this. Not loving this, but it's okay. I bring in my Medi here. I could go in my Granbull to, like, eat the moves, eat the energy, since, well, Granbull seems pretty useless against Golbat, but the Golbat is now pretty low since they took a Hydro. I'm feeling like I might be able to, like, charm it down. That's the idea here. Or I just shield this up and Psychic the Golbat. That'd be fine too. Just gonna farm this down before they get to another move there. Luckily, what do I bring in? They actually have Scrafty. Go for the Power Punch here. A little too early, honestly. Way too early. Honestly, I shouldn't have thrown this at all, because I'm gonna farm to Psychic here, then switch to Bull. Actually, I tried to catch Foul Play here. Yeah, I tried to catch the Foul Play here. I switched on 7. But they actually don't have Foul Play. They throw the Acid Spray, which debuffs my defense greatly. These wind attacks are starting to hurt, but they aren't doing enough. We farm down the Golbat. We farm down the Scrafty. GG. Alright, Deoxys lead is pretty neutral. I think Deoxys definitely wins this though, because they get to a Thunderbolt and a Psycho Boost before I can charm them down. It's going to shield up this move. I should be able to get to the Crunch now, which will probably warrant a shield or take out the Deoxys. Either one I'm fine with. Luckily, most Deoxys leads are very weak to fighting in the back, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm just going to let Granbull go down. Like, most Deoxys lead teams are like Walrein plus Diggersby, Lickitung plus Walrein, and well, Medicham should be able to do a lot of work here in combination with Swampert. I'm going to let this move go, and then I plan to just Power Punch through everything. Is the hope? Never mind. It's Sableye. Yeah, it's that wasn't weak to counter. All right, that was pretty unfortunate. Honestly, if I got switched there, I might have had a shot. Not a great one, but I would have had a shot. Generally, though, I think this play was the correct one. Most of the time with the Deoxys lead recently, I have seen double weak to counter in the back, so that would have worked. Alright, Nidoqueen lead is awful. I go into my hard counter, there's Swampert. Again, I go into my hard counter there, into the poison types, because I want to get shields down. If I get shields down, Medicham has a chance versus Nidoqueen. Medicham versus Nidoqueen is not good with shields up, so you don't want to switch it in, because then they're free to just Poison Fang dip into whatever they want. So I'm really hoping that I can burn some shields off of this Azumarill. I'll go for the Hydro here. I'm really hoping they shield. If they don't shield, it's clear that I'm just gonna lose either way. And, well, they don't shield, which is very awkward. They must have like another Granbull answer in the back. Gonna go for the Hydro here. Probably get a shield. No, don't get a shield. So this is looking pretty awful right now. Kind of want to save my Swampert for the Nido, but like, it's impossible. It's impossible at that point. The Nido and Granbull are just gonna sweep me. So I back out. Alright, Cresselia lead. This is pretty alright. It's not the best. Granbull is very squishy. I'm gonna let this first move go though. It's just a grass knot and I should be able to get to the crunch here. Actually, gaining a shield advantage or taking switch here. Gaining shield advantage is not something you see that often with Charmers, but you see it right here. We get shield advantage from the Cress. I'm just gonna let this go at this point. Farm down with the Medi, shield up one move, and most Cresselia lines are double weak to counter in the back. So that's what I'm hoping for, but we saw how that worked out with the last Psychic lead. Let's just see if that's true. They let it go. They let it go. In comes a Lickitung. It does seem like they're double weak to counter in the back, so it's pretty good. Gonna go for the counter, for the Power Punch I mean. Another Power Punch coming through. Medicham versus Lickitung is actually not too good without Power Punch, so that's kind of why I'm learning Power Punch as well. I think Wholesome actually runs Ice Punch in his line, but I found Power Punch to be pretty useful in the battles I did, so honestly that is what I would recommend, but Ice Punch definitely works as well. They're gonna shoot up that Power Punch. They must be super weak. It might be like a Bastiodon. I have a Medicham with shield advantage left. They quit the game. GG's. Alright, another Cresselia lead. They were coming out. They were coming out on this day. It's kind of interesting, but Granbull is fine. Granbull is very, very fine for me versus Cresselia. They go for the Moonblast. They bring in the Galarian Stunfisk. I expect a fighting weak Pokemon in the back, so I go into Swampert. Since I'm expecting, I don't know, maybe a Lickitung. Maybe a Registeel. Actually, versus Registeel, Swampert will be fine as well. Yeah, most things that are fighting weak are also weak to Swampert. Maybe a Dark type, like an Umbreon, would make sense as well. So that's why I bring in Swampert versus the G-Fisk and not the Medicham. Besides that, I should be able to reach a Hydro versus this Cress, which is some nice chip damage as well. So I think we're looking pretty good here right now. Yeah, this is kind of bad though, since they have so much farm. They'll be able to get to a move here, and I kind of don't want to shield. Kind of don't want to shield this. So let it go, and now we're just gonna farm with Medicham. It's not a fighting Pokemon on the back though. It's actually Kanto Ninetales. If I just went in Medi versus the G-Fisk, I would have had Swampert onto the Kanto Ninetales, and this would have been the easiest win of my life. But instead, this is actually gonna be kind of rough, because the Cress is gonna get to a move if I try to farm him down. This Kanto Ninetales will get to 2 moves too. I cannot shield this, because our Moonblast does more. Alright, Moonblast does more. I'm gonna let this go. Brings me to the red, but I counter down. In comes the Crest down. I'm not gonna throw any moves, because if I throw a move, they're just gonna get a Psycho cut through, and I think just countering is the more efficient way to go. And it is, because we knock him out. GG's. Next match with an Alolan Ninetales lead. Not ideal, since Alolan Ninetales is more bulky, so that means they're actually gonna be able to charm me down before I charm them down. Luckily, they're in range where 2 counters knock out, which means if they throw the Weather Ball right here, which they do, I won't even take a charm with my Medicham, because my counter here will register before their charm. I expect the counter to come out. Usually it's Sableye in the back with Alolan Ninetales, but actually bring in Swampert. I really wish I just stayed in with my Medicham there. They even catch the Hydro on Walrein, so this is not looking good at this point, but I have a feeling that if I just save shields for my Medicham, I should be alright. I'm gonna go for the straight Earthquake here. They shield it up. Not great. Should still be able to take an Icicle Spear though, so they're actually gonna have to throw an Earthquake to knock me out, or 2 Icicle Spears. I expect them to go 2 Icicle Spears though, because I feel like a shield on my part is to be expected. They actually allow me to get to another Earthquake here, which is huge. They let it go. That knocks out their Walrein, and now I bring in my Medicham here. I'm gonna no-shoot the first move, since it's never gonna be Earthquake, and I can survive a Hydro. I wanna prevent the potential situation where they go for 2 Hydros, I shield both, and then I get to the Earthquake. Because that is less energy than what they have to do now, which is throw 4 Hydros. So that might be a potential win condition there. Gonna go for another pup. Actually, I don't go for the pup. I go for the psychic here. Since the pup wouldn't knock out, taking their shield already. Why would I go for pup? Just to go for the psychic, knock out this Swampert, and that is a good game to finish off this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next videos. Good luck with your battle trainers.